What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into it today. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Today, Republicans started jumping the Trump ship. Now, not fully, but just over this Jeffrey Epstein files. They have decided that it's basically political suicide to run with Trump on this one, that it's a hoax. And the thing that's been killing me, MAGA, Donald Trump says anything he doesn't like has been a hoax for a decade. Before Donald Trump, how many hoaxes were there? How many hoaxes were out there before Donald Trump came into the political sphere? I don't remember one. But Donald Trump has fed you guys hundreds of fucking hoaxes, and you guys just eat that word up. When does the political capital of the word hoax fucking start to like go down a little bit for y'all? I mean, seriously, it's worth less. It's worth less than the American dollar right now. It's ridiculous. It never really was worth anything except for in your heads. He always said things were a hoax whenever it was against him. He had no problem telling you all kind of conspiracies that benefited him. He didn't call those a hoax. He called the opposite hoaxes. All the crap he told you guys for you to do January 6th was hoaxes. And he decided to get you out so that he wouldn't look bad in history to you, in your eyes. And that's why he hired many of them to be his Gestapo going all over the country, trying to get immigrants, making them the bad guy. When the bad guy in this story always has been and always will be a rich white guy. That's who it is. The rich white guy is the villain that has made MAGA into this stupid army. No disrespect, but you guys played a role as a dumbass. I mean, you played the dummy in your dummy army that he wants to, activate to get himself out of trouble. And so far, you've been playing it. I mean, loyal to a fault. You losing money, you're losing homes, you're losing farms, you're losing your health care, and not all of you, but a lot of you are just still on this ship. Some of you dropping out because it's like, wait a minute, there's only one party that's talking about affordability. Everything's gone up except for recently, they talked about things that have went down. And eggs is one of them that has went down according to some stats that were on MSNBC earlier tonight. So I'm like, okay, but everything else, meat, everything else is going up. Gas has gone down 0.4. You don't recognize it. And here's the thing. Only in certain states. When you add it up overall nationally, it's gone down. But in California, ain't shit gone down. I don't know about your state, but the gas hasn't gone down. It's just the same or higher. And it shifts on a daily basis. So I don't know where they get that shit from. But hey, maybe it's, like I said again, 0.04 across the board. Or 0.4, I think it is, across the board. But it's not hitting my state. Maybe it's because, I got a big state here. Maybe it's not hitting Texas or anything like that. But maybe it's hitting Mississippi. Maybe it's hitting Chicago. Nah, I don't know about Chicago. But maybe it's hitting one of these smaller states. Maybe Indiana. But it's not hitting me. What's up, Mike? I see you. So it's not hitting me at all. I'm not getting a piece of that whatsoever. Everything's going up for me. Now, when you think about what's going on out here, you're starting to understand that Donald Trump has flipped on his conversation too. Now that he's seen that it's supposed to be like 100 people. Going into the weekend, he was still strong, like, no. But then he started to hear, just like everybody else started putting on this trickling down, that people are riding with MTG. And so over the weekend, what did he do? What do you mean you're going to get YouTube straightened out? What's happening, Mike? But MTG, that's exactly what happened with MTG. Is that over the weekend, he heard that people are running with her and Massey, and he had to jump ship. He said, oh, well, go ahead and get it. But after he has asked Pam Bondi to literally open up a case against all of this, but only on the Democrat side. Now we're going to talk about that in a second too, but the Democrat side is kind of hilarious on his part. But he says, open it up for the Democrats, Clinton and all these other people, open it up for them. And that's it. Oh, woke Mike. Oh, because it doesn't tell you woke Mike. It says Mike K. Okay. Yeah, okay. What's up, woke Mike? So they talking about opening it up just for the Democrats, he's saying. Now, here's the thing. Opening up a case, lawyers have said, legal pundits have said, that that's a ploy so that he can shut it all down and pretend like it's all behind some kind of investigation. Do you trust Pam Bondi or what's his name? Kakai Cash Patel on anything that has to deal with law? Hell no. Kakai Cash Patel, man. This fool literally has detail for his girlfriend when he's not there. Why the fuck are we spending money, government-wise, to take care of his girlfriend? Like she's some kind of celebrity. I'm sorry. If she is a singer, celebrity, she should have her own detail. What the fuck? I don't understand this. Our money going for some girl that he's out here porking. And I said porking instead of fucking. But you know what I'm saying. He's out here hitting. I mean, come on, man. No. If it's your wife, maybe. But your girlfriend, boy, there should be something illegal. It's crazy how these people say, oh, you're spending so much money. You know, when Christopher Wray was in there, he was saying, oh, you're spending so much money. I don't know why you spend so much money. Why you got to be on a plane? He could take this. He could do that. And then when he gets in, it was all just jealousy. It had nothing to do with him giving a damn about the American dollar. These people are wanting to get on the American teat and go out here and treat it like it's welfare for them. And because they're leaders, it's not welfare that you take millions of our dollars to fuck with, and you pissed off at the average citizen who needs $200 or $300 for food, substance, right? The sustenance to eat, $200 to $300 per family or so, under that for many. And you're taking millions of dollars to protect this heifer we don't even know or give a shit about. Ain't nobody thinking about this woman. But you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a day to protect this bitch? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Americans are sitting here trying to get food to eat. Millions. And you're calling them out like, oh, they don't need it. And Donald Trump, when we closed down, didn't want to give them their food money. So Americans had to put money together, rub our nickels together to feed our brothers and sisters who are Americans out here starving with these babies out here. Our government out here spending $172 million for that emaciated ass Pam Bondi. 2 planes for this heifer. Why can't she take one? Why can't she take commercial? Shit. You can rent one fucking plane. But you're going to get $272 million for this heifer to have 2 planes. What is up with that? And you worried about American citizens who are putting in all this money. These people are just snake in the grass. They're snakes. They literally are they're leeches. They leech off of us and act like we're the bad ones, but they're stealing millions of dollars. In Trump's case, billions of dollars. While pointing at the people who are regular getting $100 here, $300 there. And that is in addition to them busting their ass and working hard. You're calling them lazy to get $100 or $200 a month to help feed their family, even though they got a job and these companies out here ain't paying living wages because you don't send most of the jobs overseas. And therefore, even the people who have jobs in business here have to go overseas to get it, whatever product or service they have. These rich people F up the economy for everybody else, make it wonderful for themselves, and then get to acting like we doing something wrong. And they're out here spending money for no damn reason. The amount of money that it is taken for Cockeyed Cash Patel to have detail for his girlfriend could probably feed a fucking town. And this is the same cockeyed bastard that used to talk about Christopher Wray not needing money to go on business meetings. He don't need to go this is a business meeting. This is this man who was railing off. They're fucking hypocrites. You trying to save money? You're supposed to be conservative. How are you conservative when you're spending more money than the person who was in it before you? And wait a minute, Christopher Wray was a Republican too. He just wasn't MAGA. Y'all, I'm telling you, it is crazy out here. We Americans are supporting them. They're on our teat. We're supporting them. They're on welfare, not us. They ain't working for shit. These people took off 50 or whatever days, still getting paid. They're the lazy ones. They sat on their asses. They meet like once or twice, freaking in 2 months. They've met like once or twice. We got to get up every day, put in those 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and still need assistance. Some of us are going to second and third jobs. And they sitting on their asses knowing where to invest because they're dealing with the people who have the big businesses. And when they start to make moves, they hear those moves and they invest. MTG, investing money when Donald Trump was fucking up the economy and then let everybody know that was on his team. Hey, the economy's down. Okay, I'm about to lift that bitch tomorrow. Oh, really? And then MTG and all of them start buying fucking shit. They're in there becoming rich while using our money, getting 100-something grand to really do nothing but get inside and get inside information, invest, and become millionaires. Multiple millionaires. While supposedly they're supposed to be in there for us. But what has Donald Trump done since he got in? What has a Republican, given a Republican leadership, done? They couldn't govern the last time he was president. They're a million times worse now. Con people is what they are. Cons. You got Donald Trump opening up the floodgates supposedly after his party started to move away from him. So he didn't want to seem weak. So he tried to give the party permission. They was already going that way, bruh. They was leaving you on this particular topic. They was leaving you. Why? Because I'm not going to show it, but the video of the young women who were children when this stuff happened to them, I don't know if you guys have seen that video. That stuff is powerful. Powerful. When I watch it, I'm torn up. I'm like, man, these are babies. It's like your kids, you know what I'm saying? And when nobody was there to protect them, these predators and pedophiles was doing it to them. And they had no, they were powerless and still are powerless. But I heard one of them speak today. And one of the things that she said, and I'm reading between the lines, and I hope these lines are straight and not crooked. But she was saying that they are afraid, and rightfully so, because many of them have been threatened, if not all of them, but many of them have said it before they came out. But the camaraderie, the sisterhood that they've pulled together, knowing each other, no matter where they were at or they're living at now, they've bonded over this pain and started and blossomed something else, a relationship that's getting them stronger and stronger and stronger to say things. But what this young lady said was that they don't want to speak on anybody's names because they were asked a question, at least she was asked a question, whether it was, whether they felt they had more strength that they could offer, just like MTG said at one of the press conferences. I'm willing to use, they get immunity, a speech clause, whatever, they get immunity, whatever they say, that can't be held against them. So they can't be sued for it, anything like that. So would you lend your, pointing fingers at who the guys are to that individual? They didn't say Marjorie Taylor Greene, but she was the one who mentioned it. They just said, lend your voice or the names to them. And then when they're in their investigation, whatever, and they just bring up the name on your behalf. And this is the part where I'm like, I think these women have been playing three-dimensional chess, y'all. I think they've been playing three-dimensional chess on them. And I hope it's right. I hope it's right, because that's what I got the feeling when she said it. She was like, no, we're not going to give up names. She said, we don't want to do that. She said, we want these files released because we gave up all the names and things of that nature in the documentation in that first case. I was like, oh shit, she's right. The one in which he got put in jail the first time, there were a lot of people in which that dude ended up trying to Acosta. He ended up like trying to push it away and allow people to go through. They said, follow them. These women said, follow the money and give us these files. I am thinking, just by the way she said that, I'm thinking in these files, if Trump don't like delete them or erase them or move them, whatever, in these files are these people's names fully. In these files are what they've done. In these files are Trump. And they are acting like, we don't want, it's not Trump. It's not, we don't know nothing about Trump being. They want the files to name these people because they know that they've named them already. When they were younger, they named them. It was just closed. So the world hasn't seen it. Acosta knows who's in it. Remember Jeffrey Epstein? In order for him to get that deal, he named people, but he made it so that those people cannot be charged. Think about it for a second. If those names are not there, then you wouldn't be able to charge somebody. There would be no file saying that the other people can't be charged under his file. In order to say the other people, you have to name the people. They would have to be cleared under it. So they can't be charged would literally mean that Jeffrey Epstein had to give up all his names that he wanted to protect. And for them to have that case and say these people would not be charged and only he would be charged and therefore he served time for it, which was a fucked up thing to do. But Alex Acosta decided to do it. And guess what? Alex Acosta started working for Donald Trump in his first presidency as somebody like of power. Why would you hire the dude to the other dude that you hate so much? The one that you said was stealing my girls. He was a pedophile according to Levitt, Carolyn and Levitt. She said that Donald Trump thought that he was stealing the girls and he was a pedophile. He was gross. We don't have anything to do with him. But it's so weird how you hired him. The dude who got him off, you hired that dude. That was the dude that you selected. The dude that protected the dude that you hated, supposedly, because he was a pedophile. It doesn't add up, Trump. And that's the part that's falling apart. He's trying to put it together. You don't call it a hoax. You know, told people they stupid, they still on it. He's been trying to hide it. Donald Trump could release it right the F now. He could literally say, just give it to him. But he's trying to go through this process. Why? Because he's trying to put another shield in front of it. Start an investigation. You can't deliver the goods. Now, there's such thing as a veto power. Meaning, in other words, if so many of the Republicans and Democrats vote, I don't know what that number is, I just heard it today, then he can't really veto it. I guess it's like veto proof. I don't know exactly this whole process. I just heard it. I'll get more into details about it once I learn about it, but that's what they said, and we'll see that vote tomorrow. And I don't know what that number is. Maybe you do. But I heard it today, and I'm like, oh, because I didn't know anything about that. So we'll see if that's I think it was like Lisa Rubin or somebody who said it, which I find her to be very credible. So we'll see if that's a real thing or how it actually works out. But that's what happens with Donald Trump. He's trying his damnedest everywhere he goes to try and stop it. Why would you try and stop something that you thought you was innocent in? Something that you literally campaigned on, which lets you know something. This man campaigned because he wanted to win and he knew what the people wanted. So he promised him he's going to do something and he lied to y'all. He never wanted to do it, but he knew you would vote for him if he said he would do it. Instead of keeping an easy campaign promise, he's lied to them the entire time to get what he wants. And they still think this man is some kind of God or credible human being. He lied to you to get what he wanted. He literally raped you of your voice, of your vote. He literally had you thinking something's going to happen and just stuck it to you, knowing that you was going to vote for him if you thought he was for you. And all he had to do was speak your language. Think about it. Every time he says how he suckered y'all, he'll say something like, I won on something called groceries. Like this fool never heard of the word groceries. And he probably hasn't. That's why Donald Trump is like one of the dumbest people to ever live on this fucking planet. And these people don't know it. I want on something, a little thing called groceries. He don't even believe in it. He just said it because they told him. We think if you talk about groceries, these idiots will buy it. And MAGA bought it. MAGA bought groceries. I care about your groceries. He don't even know what your groceries were. Think about it. How out of touch this man was. He thought groceries was like some newfangled word. He thinks affordability is something new, he said recently. And then remember, he said something so out of touch when he was talking about going to the grocery store. He said, just the thing, you need an ID to buy some bread. ID to buy bread. Where'd that come from? Who puts up an ID to buy bread? Alcohol, but bread? You had to know this man was so disconnected from reality. But no, your hate was stronger than your intellect. Your hate was stronger than your own love of self. And now you find yourself mixed up with the blonde idiot or orange idiot. The dude who didn't even know what groceries were. The guy who's supposed to be so connected and understanding, cares about your pain. No, it's so weird though. I mean, let me tell you something, MAGA. All somebody has to do is tell you they're going to do something for you. They really don't have to do it. All they got to do is find your pain point and say, you know what? We're going to turn America all white again. We don't care. We're going to tell everybody, white again. We want to turn America white again, and that's it. And we're going to do it for you so you can get jobs. We're going to give everybody else who's not white, they're going to get second-rate jobs. You're going to get first-rate jobs. And you'll be stupid enough to follow that shit just because that's what you wanted. Oh, it's Christmas. He's going to get it to me. I'm like, how is he going to do it? It don't matter. Because all they got to do is promise you shit. You don't have to see the plan and how it works. It's already a plan in your head. You've already gone to the end part. Oh, I'm going to get a job. And then it turns out you get no job. Everybody who's of color in your community is making more money than you. And then you're all disappointed and you're mad at the people of color instead of the white guy who lied to you. None of this shit he told you is going to come to fruition. I'm telling you that right now. Why? Because in every business he's had, he's lied his way to get money. That's why he got in a fraud situation. He's lied about when he built his businesses that they're owned by him. No, he's licensing his name to those buildings. Other countries own them. Putin and people own some of his hotels. Other people in other countries, they own the hotel. Donald Trump is leasing his name. You look at it, oh, look at this great hotel. It's not owned by him. It has his name on it. He's got you suckered that he's the richest person, but the rich people are the one who actually own the damn hotel. And that's not him, for the most part. Then he suckers you into buying meme shits. He suckers you to get into, you guys get suckered into everything. What does he guarantee you? Absolutely nothing. He fills you with empty shit. And it's so scary how easy he can just say, hey, I'm going to do this for you. So much so when you look at when Donald Trump said he had concepts of a plan, and then Kamala Harris actually rattled off a fucking plan, gave you numbers and stats and all that. You didn't see numbers and stats as reality. You saw a guy promising you empty bullshit as reality. How does somebody who doesn't have numbers, stats, how he's going to do it, where he's going to lower money, where is he going to raise money, how's he going to take taxes in, none of that. None of that. And then now what? This man, for those of you out there may not know this, and maybe MAGA hear this from somebody else, or not to say MAGA, poor people, and anybody who voted for him, your taxes are going to have to be done by you without the system that a government had. They're closing that down for you to fill out your taxes online. If you do your taxes yourself, you just go online and just do it automatically and then put your numbers in and it figures it out and then boom, you get your refund and automatic. No. They're talking about canceling that. They defunded it. Boy, they're helping you to fuck out poor people. MAGA. Oh, they just keep on coming up with more and more ways to literally fuck you. And you sit around like, oh, I love this guy. How? I mean, literally, You guys must have been beat as children because you think getting your ass whooped and handed to you is somehow love. That's sick. I mean, love is like supposed to be like giving you a hug and doing things for you and doing it just because they love you and care about you, not because they want to beat the pulp out of you. Something's wrong if you literally think somebody who keeps robbing you, raping women, raping children, pedophile shit, close to pedophile rings, hiring people who got pedophiles off his best friends, now somebody he doesn't fucking know. How often do you have to be lied to before you don't realize what a lie is and what's the truth? You could literally look it the fuck up. But nope, they choose not to. They choose not to. And we all are suffering because of them. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene is on some kind of revival situation. She's trying to step up out of it. We all know her motive is to probably try and run for president or some shit like that she literally wants to get more power. So now she's starting to come around to people who realize, you know what? She's protecting women. And mind you, some of these women that were, you know, in the press conference with Marjorie Taylor Greene earlier this year, some of them voted for Donald Trump. Some of them are Republicans. She's recognizing that some of the Republicans that are on that side, these women, this is a huge story. And this win for Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to catapult her politically. While all these other men who sat around and did fucking nothing to the last fucking second, the ones who vote yes, they could probably get away with it tomorrow. But the ones who continue to vote no, your careers are over. Marjorie Taylor Greene is about to skip over y'all. She is strategizing something these people don't know how to do. They know how to fall in line. And that's what Trump is all about. That's what the Republican Party is all about. Not my words, their words. Tara Setmeyer. Setmeyer. A black lady. She's a Republican. She is the one who said that has always been the running story between Democrats and Republicans. Democrats have to fall in love. Republicans fall in line. And she thought that was like, oh, that's a great thing, and laughed about it back in the day. And I'm sitting here like, you really just said that Republicans are sheep. They just fall in line. And Democrats, they have to fall in love, which means you got to pitch this to me till I like it. I ain't going to just roll with it. And she's saying Republicans, they just roll with it. That right there was like a powder keg for MAGA. You guys set it up, Republicans. You had that fall in line bullshit already set up, and you thought that was a positive. Don't think, just do. And you set it up to have these MAGA people come into your party, and all they had to do was get a leader that would say what he wanted to say, and they just fall in line with it, even if they didn't like it. Because you've already set them up for decades, even since Reagan, to just fall for whatever the fuck your leader says and do not stand against him. And that's what we've been seeing. But now they see that Donald Trump's a lame duck. And unless this dictator shit happens, they're gone. And they love the power too much. I started to realize today, this is supposed to be a job of service, right? Right? It's really about serving themselves. Because when you do service, at a certain point in time, you're like, you know what? Somebody else should get a chance to do this service. No, they literally want to be in these services until they damn near die. Now, why would you want to be in a service in which, again, you can only serve so much until you grow out of the community in which you serve? When the new kids are coming up on the block and you're like 70, you don't have their best interests at heart. You can't. You don't know what their new dreams and aspirations are. So when you're like in your 70s, you don't know what these young people need and what they want. You just know that you want to be in office. It is no longer a job of service. It is a job of serving yourself. You want to be empowered. You want to have that close proximity to power. You want to meet leaders and feel important because that's what you've done your entire life. But it's supposed to be about service, how you do for the people in your community. But it's long been past that. Who knows? It may have never, ever been that. And we've been sold a bill of goods that you guys are in there to benefit us, when in fact you are in there to benefit yourself but you just get us to get you in the position. And no matter how you have to do it, lie, cheat, steal, rape, kill, to get there, you will do it. You will sit in front of a camera and lie your butt off just so that you can get in power. Your goal is to get into power, not to do right by the people. It shows in your voting. Your people want something, you guys don't have an option to vote for that at all. I don't want to do it. Your people out here starving, don't give a shit about your people starving. We got a plan, we want to do this. Who are you doing it for? The billionaires. How many billionaires are in this country as opposed to how many citizens? And if you're supposed to be representing the citizens, we outweigh the billionaires by millions, and you still focus on the billionaire while begging us for money and voting forever whatever the fuck they want. It's high time we get rid of y'all and start changing this whole system up and getting people in there who are supposed to serve and putting term limits so you don't get to stay in this thing forever and do a little bit of nothing. Now, that's my rant. They need the term limits. There's no way in the world you should still be there. If you're not effective, get the fuck out. You're supposed to be of service to people. When you learn that you're no longer of service, quit. Why are you still in the position? Because it was all about money. It was never about service. It's all about you getting served. And you lie to us so that you can get into power. I never really thought of politicians as people who just like wanted a career doing it. I thought you came and served your country well, like in a situation like, not necessarily in the military risking your life, but another way to serve the American people is to go in there with great ideas and do what you can until what you need is either outgrown the country or the country's outgrown it. Then you bring in other great minds that want to take the country either the same direction a little bit further, because at a certain point, when you got 30, 40 people, or in this situation, hundreds of people in the House and the Senate, if you guys are milling around for 30, 40, 50 years with the same ideologies, there's no wonder we don't change and we move like a snail's pace. There's no wonder we don't have health care. There's no wonder we haven't figured out a way to solve poverty, because the same like-minded people are still in office. Nancy Pelosi, just now retiring, still in office and retires here soon. Chuck Schumer, still in office. All these people, thank you for your service, but it's time for y'all to let the younger people who want a different life move in. Otherwise, you're sitting here trying to keep us in 1950 and 2025. We want universal health care for the majority of us. And the idea that you can't come up with it and you can't figure it the fuck out, then you need to leave. You need to stop acting like you have absolute powers of being able to create solutions, because you don't. You don't have the solutions. If you don't have them, why the fuck are you there? If every day you're not trying to figure out how to solve these problems, why the fuck are you taking our money? Anybody else, if you go to a job and they say, you know what, here's your job. You need to come in here and you need to fix this and then hand it over to the client. Fix this, and hand it over to the client. If you can't fix this and all you're doing is handing broken shit to the client every time, I'm going out of business. There's no wonder we're trillions of dollars into debt, because you guys aren't solving problems, you prolong them. You guys don't save money, you waste money. You don't fix anything, you break it and re-break it. Once we're on track with something that's working, all you got to do is tweak it and make it better. ACA, it had its issues. Tweak it and make it better. No, you want to take it back to where it didn't exist. Why? It's working for 42 million people. Why the fuck you can't keep it going till it's working for all 300 and something million? It just needs tweaks. And if you keep tweaking it every year, more next year we could have probably had 60 million on it. Keep tweaking it. The following year after that could have 100 million on it. Keep tweaking it. We will be progressing. Why is it that we put you guys in office and we do like this? We go forward, then we go backwards. You go forwards, you go backwards. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You're supposed to be progressing. We don't still have a brick phone. So why the hell are we doing brick phone shit when we got phones that just hover and shit? I mean, why are we in space time and y'all sitting here going back to 1585? Brick ass phones. And we're sitting here like, why you keep going back and forth? Progress already. How the hell other countries that we brought democracy too has figured it the fuck out. These countries were not democracies. We brought democracy to them, and somehow they don't figure out healthcare. And we can't. It's not a fact that we can't, because I think that we're bright enough to do it. It's just so sick that you guys don't care about the citizens in which are making you rich. How you gonna make money if all the people die? You can't. You be broke. Who buying the shit that you're selling? Nobody. So why in the hell don't you care about the people who are making you rich? That's some sick shit. Have no feelings for the people who are making your life better. Instead of caring about them in which they make your life better, you make their life better. It's reciprocal. Hello? There's no reason why everybody who's working shouldn't have a living wage job. There's no reason. You can't make a man a trillionaire and tell me you don't have enough for the American people. Have you even ever tried it? Have you ever did a study, America? They've studied when white people are going to become minorities. They studied how many people commit crimes and shit like that, and what type of crimes and shit like that. Have you ever studied how we can end poverty? Have you ever studied how we can end up having living wage jobs for all? Have you ever studied it? I don't see anybody spending millions of dollars trying to figure out how they can fix capitalism. No. You're always fucking with people trying to make them poorer. So it's about time the people start standing up and saying, you know what, fuck this government bullshit. If you're not going to try and get in there and fix something, then why the hell are you there? Why do we send money to you? So you can keep fucking shit up? The more money we spend to you, the more debt you find somehow. Our taxes go up, our debt goes up. Our deficit just gets bigger. I'm like, how the hell we're sending you more and more money? Our tax is going up. It ain't going down. And what kills me is the Republicans always want a tax cut. Dude, we're in debt. Why are you going to cut back on taxes? Pay some of them bitches off. Invest it in the small to mid-sized businesses by giving them subsidies instead of the billionaires getting subsidies and wasting the money. Americans need to wake up. They need to wake up. I'm tired of us always getting the fucking scraps. We put the money in, and when it's time to them to give like the average citizen a boost up, you got to go to the SBA and they give you a $50,000 loan that you got to pay back. But the rich people, they're giving them 30, 40. Elon Musk for an ugly ass Tesla to make it bulletproof. $400 million. He don't have to pay it back. He just got to produce the vehicles. Or vehicle, because they got to test it to see if it can make it happen. And what if they test it and it can't happen with that ugly ass vehicle? Oh, on to the next one. $400 million wasted. They spent $2 trillion on a plane they built. American government, it's supposed to be for military. $2 trillion to build a plane that once it was done, they never used that motherfucker. And then they decommissioned it and went back to another F-16, whatever the hell it was, another plane that they had before. You telling me you can spend $2 trillion to build a plane that you never fucking gonna use, but you don't have $2 trillion to help end poverty in this bitch? This is our money. The fuck you guys up there making decisions for if you're that damn bad at making decisions? All right. Americans, we gotta stand up for ourselves. We ain't got nobody fighting for us. They fighting for themselves. Out here acting like, oh well, we gotta do this. Shut up. We ain't got enough money to do this. Shut up. If you got $2 trillion for a plane you never fucking use, quit telling me you don't have enough money. You do. You got enough money to pay for health care. You do. You just don't want to end the industries that are lobbying so that you can keep them in business. And therefore, you have no committees figuring out how to make healthcare affordable, if not free, for the American citizens. Where's that committee at? Put that committee together. You've been talking about it. Donald Trump, they've been talking about healthcare for fucking 10 years, and before that, 50 years. And they still haven't figured out. If you got 50 years of hundreds of fucking brains being put together, you are fucking useless. Hundreds of brains coming together and can't figure it the fuck out for 50 years? I'm one brain can figure that shit out. How the fuck 50 years of hundreds of people, thousands, being in office can't figure it the fuck out? It ain't a can't thing. You don't want to. Quit lying to the people that you want to do something. You don't want to. If you did, you've been figured the fuck out. We can figure out gravity, but we can't figure out how in the hell. Put a rocket into the sky. Elon Musk can land that bitch on a fucking stick, and you telling me you can't figure out the mathematics behind that shit is damn near fucking impossible to do. And you can't come up with how to spread the money in which we give you. Bullshit. I call bullshit. You landing this shit on a stick and you're going to land it all backwards. And you telling me you can't figure out the economics for Americans to have living wage jobs? You can't figure out to invest in the middle class people and the poor people to start businesses where they don't have to pay it back and get into debt, that they can be able to start creating industries. There are so many bright people that don't have the money and have so much genius behind them that they can start industries that other countries would just dream of, but they don't have the opportunities, they don't have the money, they don't have the support. And you guys will give it to Elon Musk, a person that's an immigrant, right? I ain't got nothing against immigrants, but he's an immigrant bitching about immigrants, which is crazy. And you can't give it to an American citizen and say, hey, you guys are smart. Here's $3 million in the community. Figure it out, come up with a program, and we'll invest in you. Starting up businesses left and right. You don't think these people would do that? You don't think if you invested in the community, the people, create an industry around that area, that poor neighborhoods wouldn't rise up, that boarded buildings wouldn't get bought up, that people wouldn't have great communities if they was given the opportunity? I call bullshit. You know those things will happen. But division is your game, not unity. Call a thing a thing. Division is your game. Unity is not. All right. Donald Trump has been running away from this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And now he's coming up with, he's for it, last minute. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. That's not what he wants. He's trying to win the narrative. His people were defecting. And if he puts it in an investigation, he could put it into the dark. Because the DOJ is not going to charge Pam Bondi. She ain't going to charge nothing. She'll have it sitting around forever until she's gone, and the investigation won't start until after Donald Trump is either long dead or out of office. That's what they're trying to do. Now, this veto thing, we'll see what happens. But when you get into really understanding this man, because over the decades, Donald Trump has been ratting on himself. And MAGA and some Americans who are just Republican and some who don't want to be on the plantation of Democrats, it's baffling that you think that the party that has the KKK riding and dying with it is the Republican Party, and somehow the plantation is on the other part where the Democrats, or the KKK, the white nationalist groups, and the Proud Boys are all on the Republican side. They're the ones who are trying to unalive Democrats and shit. In January 6th, tried to kill their vice president and Mike Pence, tried to kill and harm, and later one of these nut jobs tried to kill Nancy Pelosi's husband. So these nut jobs are on the Republicans, the right side, and somehow these black people who said, oh, I'm getting off the plantation. What plantation? You mean you going back to the plantation? Because you was offered with Democrats. Democrats they don't tell you whether you can be gay or straight. They don't tell you whether trans, this, that, and the other. They don't tell you what you can and cannot think. They do not. They literally say you could be whoever the fuck you want to be. We're the ones who think before we make a decision. They're the ones that fall in line, and they got you thinking that the Democrats got you falling in line. How? We're the ones who think. And they want to say, "Oh, I'm a what did they say? I'm a free thinker." No, you're not. They told you that, and it's so crazy. Even Kanye West and all that. I'm like, they told you that you was a free thinker if you think like them. That's not a free thinker. A Democrat didn't tell you to think like them. They told you to think. That's all they said. Think. All my friends who are Democrat think. We say, okay, that doesn't make sense. If they're going to vote for that, that means I'm going to have less money in my pocket. Yeah, fuck that. I'm a Democrat for now. Nope, that's going to mess with my pockets. Can't do it. You guys, oh, well, the Democrats all on the same team, and I just can't have that because they're unified around not fucking themselves over. I got to go to the other team because I can make a decision to fuck myself over or not. And I choose to fuck myself over at this point. Let me go on this side because I'm not going to be on the plantation that's telling me not to fuck myself over. I'm going to go on this side that says shoot myself in the foot if I want to. I got free will to shoot myself or to not shoot myself. But Democrats keep telling me, don't shoot myself. I don't want that. You see how stupid that shit sounds? That's them. The coonassery of it all. Gonna run on over and shoot themselves in the foot and call you the person that's a sheep. The thinker's the sheep. Not the one who's just gonna jump off a bridge when you're telling them, yo, there's no parachute. I'm a free thinker. What? I don't have a dumbass. It's what you're gonna build one on the way down, I guess. It's the craziest shit ever. And they're learning, some of them, right now. Some of the black ones have learned that they don't care about. Candace Owens. As soon as she said something true about her relationship with the Jewish people in Palestine, said something true about Palestinians deserve to have the right to. Oh, she was cast out. They kicked the token Negro out. But the Democrats say you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. We were marching for. Some of us were for Palestine. Some of us was like, well, no, I don't have anything against Israel, but I'm against their leadership, not Israel. Netanyahu cutting that thin line. That was great. Republican side, nope. They were all lined up. No matter what, we're on one side. They fell in line. You can't tell a party, or at least people within the party, because I'm not all the party thing anymore as much, but I do see on my side where being a Democrat, everybody I've known as a Democrat, I've known in my life, I can't talk about all Democrats. When I ask them about certain things, what do they think about it? They're learned to some degree about what we're talking about. They're not blind. I'll ask Republicans, what is a Republican, or why are you a Republican? I lie to you not, I've been asking this question since I was probably like 18, 19 years old, because I was trying to figure it out as a kid. What makes it a Republican? Because I was raised a Democrat, told to sign Democrat, but I really didn't know why I was on either side. At 18, I just heard what my parents said. And then I started, in college, I started like trying to pay attention. I would ask questions, I asked professors. I've been asking that question to everybody I run into since then. And the Democrats are the only ones that say, whenever a person is benefiting me and my community, I'm down with that person. Republicans, they have never said that to me. Never has it said, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and, get out there and work and don't get no free rides and abortion this. We don't want no abortion. There's a life and conception and blah, 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 blah. All these little terms and shit. And I'm like, okay, but what does that do for you? You're talking about governing other people's lives. You don't have a vagina, sir, so why are you caring about that? That's not yours, right? You don't have a vagina? No, okay. So what are we going to do with your penis? You got rules for that? Nope. But then what? Leave that shit alone. What else you got? Oh, family. Oh, family. Really? The one who's cheating on his wife with a prostitute or whatever right beforehand? That's where no, you don't have family no more. What else do you have? Everything they said they believed in, out the window, except for the abortion. Everything else gone. There ain't another standard that Republicans have stood by that they said they believed in back in the 80s when I was a kid. Coming up. 89 was the first year I voted. First year I was able to vote. I was 19, but I didn't become 18 until the end of 88. December 23rd. So ever since then, what do they do for you? I've never heard in my life, I haven't had one Republican tell me a policy they were for. It was always what they were against. I'm against abortion. I'm against this. I'm against that. What are you for? I'm fiscal conservative. I'm fiscally conservative. I'm like, okay, you're in debt, right? Yep. You got away paying it? Nope. Then that's not fiscally conservative. What else you got? They don't have it. It's all aspirational and negative. I promise you, ask a conservative or Republican that you may know, why are you a Republican? What does it do for you? And they have no answer. They're stumped every time. They don't even have the aspirational, they do stuff for me. Nope. None of that. What do they do for you? Nothing. They don't say that, but they can never come up with anything. And then you get people saying, well, why are you a Democrat? That's because the policies in which help us. They work with the unions and different things like that. I used to be in a union, and many a times whenever we had people come talk to us, when we was in our union and we have our union meetings, our shop stewards would be there. I didn't have one fucking Republican ever come and speak to us. It was always Democrats. Mayors, governors didn't show up when they were Republican. I didn't see, and I ain't got nothing against Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't see him come to our union meetings, when they had leadership, right? When he was a governor, I saw Governor Gray, I forgot his last name, Gray something. I saw him back before the one who Donald Trump became the governor when he was the other, I forgot his name, is Gray. He got kicked out and Donald Trump took his place. There was some kind of a race that happened midway. But I had that guy, Grayson or Gray, something like that. He came, the governor. I had the Latin one. I don't know, I can't remember names right now, but the Latin one was here beforehand. The governor or mayor of Los Angeles had him come. Mayor Reardon, rest his soul, he came. And these people you don't know if you're not in L.A., but all these people, Democrats, they came and spoke at our unions and talked, we're going to do this, we're going to do this for the union. The Republican did not come. I ain't saying they never went. I'm just saying they didn't come to none of ours. Never held a speech about it. Because they were trying to bust the unions. And they got Americans trying to want to bust it too. I'm like, you won't want living wage jobs? Who smacked you in the ass and made you think that just non-union was better? I'm like, come on. You literally get paid. If anybody was going to get, and I ain't saying unions themselves are great. I can't stand some unions because they just rob you and stuff like that. I would rather have them not have a union and pay you living wages. But you have to unionize to get it. Otherwise, you can't get it. They'll give you this barely live rate. And it's strange how once you unionize, they can afford it. Isn't it weird? Once you start a union and it automatically kicks in, the government allows it and all stuff like that, and the company either closes down its business in that state or whatever, move away, or they stay there, all of a sudden, they can afford to pay you a living wage. It's amazing. Couldn't do it before, but somehow you can now once you got a union started up. And you are thriving still. It's amazing because they're greedy. They lie to you about what can't happen because they want to keep on buying them yachts. They want to keep doing stuff that they want. And I'm like, dude, we need to start working on that. What was it? I look at it as, for me, if you was this, I am Aaliyah, okay? I don't know. For me, if I am that, why would I want to pay? It's because, again, It's a misleading statement. Not even misleading. Let's put it this way. When and I don't know what side you're on. I'm not calling you out, nothing like that, but we're gonna have this quick conversation. The idea that capitalism the way it is because people become millionaires and billionaires is the best way to go about it. Not saying that capitalism, period. I ain't trying to get out of capitalism. I'm saying the way it is, eat or be eaten type of situation, kill or be killed, rob or be robbed, right? That type of mentality toward it, right? It doesn't have to work that way. Let me just look at it like I say, if I'm going to be in business and I want to, I want you to buy from me. If you buy from me, right, and I do something for you in return, so much stuff, and it ain't even got to give you money, but just if again, here's an example that is a real example. Let's not even step with hypotheticals. Let's deal with an actual real example because it doesn't even have to include money, but I think it should. But let's just say it doesn't have to include money. A friend of mine, a brother, who's in an industry that's it's leadership, mostly white men. All right, and this has to deal with like high-end 5-star hotel type of shit. But he comes in, his job is to come in and take a regular hotel that may have just been bought and is managed or whatever. His job is to come in and make it as close to, like the highest star it can possibly get. It's supposed to take it in from nothing and make it something and get it listed on all these different, websites and things of that nature. And even if it doesn't have amenities, he's supposed to come in and figure out how to make it here with as little money as possible, but still make a strategy that it can beat a 5-star hotel or a 3 or 4-star hotel and not have the stars. And he's done it every time. Now, the question is, how do you do it? Well, see, when you're like in a situation of a 5-star, sometimes you're doing some things, you are perceived to be a 5-star, so you kind of treat people in a nice way, don't get me wrong, but you may not give them that special treatment. You may give them just the allure of being in this 5-star is enough. You're just going about doing your business and things are already done for you and things of that nature. You may stay out of their way and allow them to do business, right? Well, what my boy does, he goes in, he sees how everybody acts. He sees the customer, he sees how they treat it, he sees how they respond, and then he starts catering to the customer. He asks them questions, not on a piece of paper so it's all formal. How you doing, sir? What do you need? Do you need a call for tomorrow morning to wake you up? Do you have a personal business you got to go to? Oh, you don't have a personal business? You're going somewhere else tomorrow? I can get a concierge for you. I can pull up. And here's the thing. The company, okay, didn't have all these amenities in which he was talking about. No pool, no sauna, no all this other shit. It was how you treated your customer. So what he did, again, was that he said to his boss, he said, I got a budget. He said, yeah, you can do this budget type of thing, blah, blah, blah. Here's the black card, whatever. And what did he do? He said to them, what do you need? Are you going to be going somewhere tomorrow? I said, yeah. I said, we're going to go to the beach. Oh, to the beach. Okay, cool. What time? Oh, we're going to probably leave out here about 6 o'clock. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night, blah, blah, blah. He would go out, get a car, a nice car, rent it out because, they have he had all the connections. That hotel did not have it. He called up his connections all throughout LA and was like, yo, man, I know you got the yacht, not the yacht, but the limo, blah, blah, blah. I need you to get here, blah, 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 this time tomorrow morning, blah, 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 warmed up, ready to go, going to here, wherever they want to go, bring it back, bring me the bill. Don't give him a bill, give it to me. Boom, 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 done. Dude goes, as soon as they come out of the bus and they said, oh, sir, your limo's waiting. They were like, limo? For what? It's like you was going to the whatever, saying you're going to the beach. Well, we got, food in there. We got wine in there. We got cheese in there. We got a little whatever, blah, blah, blah. These people were like, holy shit. And said, well, we didn't order that. No, it's on us. Go ahead. So this is, you guys are the first time here. We want to treat you right. So da, da, da. Did that shit. Do you know these people come back like crazy and ask for him? Doing right by people is the thing that you want to do. Because those people don't just come back. They're fucking happy to come back. What these other people do is like take your money and say, fuck you. Is it broken? Send it back. Get out of my face. When you do shit like that, that's not where you're going to make all your money. The reason why people would spend $1,000 to get into a hotel a night that's a piece of shit hotel is because of the service, not necessarily the building. So therefore, the 5-star, 3-star, whatever it was that was not too far away from them, that had high floors and a gym and all that shit, they don't want to go back to that because that personal connection of when they needed something, if they needed something, it was already done. Priceless. Treating people right is what it's all about. They'll pay for shit if they're treated like they need to be treated. Even if you didn't have money, you weren't rich, you come there and you be treated like it. Now that is something that we need to do within anything, within our government, within the jobs. If somebody treated you as a customer, you'll spend the money. That's why you go out and buy, you say, Coach is good. They go out, they make the box perfect. It feels good. It smells good, whatever it may be. Then you feel special when you open up this box the way it's been. They don't spend all this time on this box. They don't spend all, you feel special. You're willing to go ahead and spend that $3,000, $10,000 for something that literally ain't worth nothing but $1,500. It's the way they put it together and the way it makes you feel that getting this, oh, I got my new purse. Oh, I got that feeling. You're willing to spend that money for it, but it ain't worth it. But that treatment is. That's when you got people. That's when people are like, oh, I want to come back. That's how you can make more money. That's how you treat people. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's just the fact that if I treat you right, you'll come back. We don't got programmed that once I give you the product, fuck you. Go on about your business until you need the product again. That ain't the way it should be. And we get caught up thinking that's okay. And we start doing the same things and it's acceptable. So what Donald Trump does is acceptable. What these big, like Elon Musk, where he acts and how disrespectful he is toward people is acceptable. But if people have respect for themselves and realize that you are the person that they need, you don't need them, they need you more. Once you get that whole relationship right, yeah, then these people treat you right, you go there. If you want to go with a snob that treats you like shit just because it's a $14 million hotel, then go for it. But when you leave, you're going to feel like a piece of shit. Just had a good time. But you go to a place that's charging you $300, $400 and treat you like a king and a queen. And every time you needed something, it was there. The shit was under the table. You got wine in your room. All this stuff like, it's your wedding. You didn't ask for nothing, but all of a sudden, I only got so much money. You still got treated like you were there and had a lot of money. Yeah. They invest in you, you invest, and you come back. And you go and tell people, hey, man, I was at this hotel, man. It's like a little hole in the wall, like near the beach. But, man, treated like a king there. And therefore, they went from not being known to #1 in every magazine. People coming and doing videos and stuff of this hotel that they had to fix up and make it a lot better than it was because this hotel was really high. But they had already redesigned it. It wasn't like trash at all. But compared to like 4-star, hell, it was nowhere near 4-star. But they got treated better than 4-star people. They knew their names. They called them out. How's your daughter? How's your son? Oh, wonderful. Always happy, always chipper, never bringing problems, always bringing love and positivity. That is how you change something without having to spend a lot of money. And that's how you can make a living and have people come back and become wealthy without treating people like trash, thinking that your product's going to do it all. It's your service too. And you can see it just about everywhere you go. You go to a restaurant and it's like 20 minutes before it closes. That restaurant that says when you walk through the door, you only got 20 minutes, you got 20 minutes and we're going to be leaving pretty soon. So you sure you want to eat here? That ain't service. If it's 20 minutes and you get there and things open, come on in. You gotta say, we close in 20 minutes, right? Don't even worry about that. Enjoy your meal. We got it. We're going to be here. Ain't nobody dying soon. Y'all have a good time. That place you're going to come back to. That place you're going to be talking about on the way home. It was so nice for them to stay open another hour for us and didn't even rush us or nothing. That's the place you're going back to. The one that wants to kick you out as soon as, 9:58, 2 minutes. You got to finish that up, sir. You done with that? That place you ain't going back to. That means you don't have reciprocal money, right? Service is everything, and the customers, everything. You got some assholes out there you don't want to treat right, but you know what? If it's your business, you're going to treat them right anyway because you want them to come back and do business with you until you don't want them to anymore. They get too bad. But you get my point. You get my point. The better the service, the better you're going to be treated. You're going to come back. You're going to brag about it. That's more than any advertising. My boy didn't even have to advertise. It was the people that came back. And he's done it for every hotel he's worked in. That's why he's getting paid the big bucks and he's up there doing his damn thing. I'm proud of him. But he started from nothing and went to the top. How? Service. He realized working for richer places, what those people got treated like. And it's like, wow. Compared to the other people, average hotels, nothing like that. But they expected you to come back just like these rich places did. And it wasn't the same thing. And that's why he shines everywhere he goes. And that's why I look at this, when I create things to try and help America with economics, and I'm creating things for healthcare, I'm creating things for us to become partners and do the things that I'm talking about. It's about that service. It's about that honesty. It's about that reciprocal giving and giving back. At the same time that you're buying from me, you're making money. At the same time that I'm creating and solving problems, we're solving each other's problems. We're starting to become more like a community of people, even though we may not live in the same community. We're a community because we're all Americans trying our best. And when it gets down to it, we're all humans trying to do our best. And there's no reason that I got to compete with you when I can get into partnership with you. If you buy a product or sell a product, there's no reason that I can't be able to help you out if I need that product. If I need, service, why shouldn't I be able to help those who are out there trying to help me? That's the way it goes. It's just that we don't know each other. And we've been taught to not care about each other. You've noticed I'm in my 50s, right? I remember my neighbors used to come over and say hi. Didn't bid no norm as nothing. I'd be moved there and be like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you in a nice community. Pool's nice and everything like that. It's a good place over there. Watch out for the kid over there. The one over there, he bites. Yeah, don't do that. But anyway, you like strawberry pie? I'm making one tomorrow. That shit was when I was a kid. Now, my neighbors complain about everything. You can look at them and be like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, what the hell? What'd I do to you? Nothing. So antisocial. I got something that really, really nice, don't get me wrong. But in the communities I've lived in, since I've been in LA and different other places, and I've seen it when I've traveled, certain people are just so it's like we're the most open society than we've ever been in American history. But it's almost as if we live in a cave and we don't want to see nobody else. Come home and do the same things. You wouldn't even know if your neighbor died. And many wouldn't even have cared. You'd be like, what's that smell? Smell rotten. Your neighbor done died 2 weeks ago. You ain't thought two shits of even checking in on an old lady. Why? Because you don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself. That's why. That shit didn't happen back in the day when I was kids. Our neighbors were checked on it all the time. If they were elderly, shit. Hey, Miss Johnson, how you doing today? You want me to cut your grass? Thank you, baby. No doubt. You want some lemonade? You be like, nah, I want no lemonade. Your shit be salty. You be putting salt instead of sugar in it, but it's all good. No, I don't want it. That was wrong, but it's true. Yeah. So those are the types of things that I look forward to when I do stuff. When I come up with plans, it's all about everybody included. You know what I'm saying? It's not, like me and you, if I'm doing a transaction with you, there's no reason why you shouldn't receive something that you've given me. If I buy the product from you, for me, I'm looking at, okay, that's great. And, even for me, for what I'm trying to do is to actually make partnership in everything that I try and sell. And I'm working on that process, and I'll let you know more about it. But Avid Solutionist, you can go check it out. If you don't know how to spell it, it's AVID. I don't know, it's right here. You can see it. Avid Solutionist. I don't know if you can see that or not. Zoom in. SOLUTIONIST. And it's just about. I've been a person who's consider myself always trying to solve problems. Ever since I was a kid, I used to take my toys away and tear my toys apart, trying to figure out a solution to make them mend and make them both work at the same time. So you got two trucks? I was like, yeah, but if I tear this one off, and I screw it off and everything like that. And I was just always trying to create stuff. And that has been me my entire life. And so I'm offering that service, no matter even that, whether it be relationship advice, whether it be, fixing people's computers and software, hardware, writing code. I mean, I'm a jack of all. I mean, I can say all trade, but many trades, and I'm really good at a lot of these trades. But there are things that I'm really great at and excellent at. But I have no problem offering solutions that I have, and that's where I'm building a community that people don't necessarily. I mean, people who love to help other people. And it could be a charge, but at the very beginning, we're talking about, not saying for me, but I'm saying it's like we start doing this and building it into a community of people who have went through things. Our wisdom is supposed to be given to others. Now, again, of course, people make a living off their wisdom, and that's fine. And therefore, when you're there, you can always offer one or two, free things and say, if you want to do this and they vibe with you, of course, they can do it. But what I'm doing is just kind of like bringing that atmosphere on Avid Solutionists of solving problems right then and there. Ask me right now, and I'll come up with a solution. And that's something I do. You don't have to take it. I'll come up with multiple. You don't have to take it, but I will try and solve that problem right on the spot. And that works for me. And I've been able to do that for people throughout my entire life. Now I'm offering it on the actual show that I'm gonna start on YouTube, TikTok, and also being a podcast on, all the different podcast platforms out there. Just be audio only for that one. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. We're gonna continue on with the rest of this. What was going on today? When we talk about these young women, powerful messaging that they've been putting out here, telling everybody about their pains, them overcoming, and some of them losing their lives due to the pain that they had, like Virginia Giuffre. I look on it and I talk about it often because I don't want it to be forgotten. I'm pretty sure all of us have been touched by someone who is harmed, raped, did something, egregious, beatings or whatever it may be in our lives. And nobody listens. Nobody thinks that, especially when you're young, they don't believe you. They rather believe somebody else. And so that's what we fight for. I fight for those I love who went through that. And these women are the same as the ones in my life. They're survivors. And I fight for them like I fight for family members who went through the same thing. Or close to the same thing. And so those are the types of things that we're focusing on. And I said this like in this video that Donald Trump told on himself. He's been telling on himself this entire time. There's video of Donald Trump in depositions where he said E. Jean Carroll loved being raped. That's what he said. She found it sexy. And the lady who was interviewing him said, the lawyer for E. Jean Carroll said, you think she said that's what she said? He's like, yeah, she said it on CNN, blah, blah. She did not. But that's what his weird, whipped up mind thought because he found it sexy. And he thought, wow, she did too. No, she didn't say that. She said something to the effect of people find that sex. Some people find that stuff sexy. And she didn't say she did. And he tried to make her out to be some weirdo. The 13-year-old girl, right? I was going to go through these things that he's had. He's had, and these are the so far, and this was up until, what year was this? This was 2019. By the time 2019 came, we are literally 6 years away from this. At that time, 16 women had accused Donald Trump of various forms of sexual assault. One at the time was rape, and another accused him of, accuser has not used the word rape, but the description meets the legal definition of rape. And I think at this time that might have been E. Jean Carroll. He said on that Access Hollywood tape that he has done the exact same things that the 13-year-old girl said happened to her. And here's the thing, though. People keep on acting like that 13-year-old said that he and Jeffrey Epstein raped her once. No, he raped her. Him and Jeffrey Epstein, she accused him of raping her multiple times. Multiple. Yeah. Right? And then you get him on Howard Stern, how he talked about he walked behind the scenes of these pageant girls who, one of which I remember Samantha Halvey or something like that. Something to that nature. Samantha Halvey, I think it was, in 2006. No, 2007. No, it happened in 2006. 2006, I think. But anyway, she said, she was on CNN in some clip. She said that he walked in and she was just in a robe. She was naked up in a robe. He comes in and she said it was just so creepy how he just walked in and just was staring at us. Not only that, she said at another time, he lined them all up like they were a piece of meat and walked one by one and looked at which girl he wanted to take with him or something like that. Which one he wanted to pick. She found it gross at the time, weirded out by it. Another woman, which I do believe turns out to be a girl that he was dating at the time, but I'm not 100% sure on this. So another woman said, it didn't happen. But there was like, she said it was like 50 or 90 or whatever women in the room or some shit like that. They can all testify. We don't know what that girl's about, but that's one girl. But I was there and everybody else does. The whole thing comes down to it. How many times as he has to do something disgusting for you to think that this man is not a disgusting human being? The things he said about women, the idea that he literally saw E. Jean Carroll on CNN and thought she said sex, or not sex, rape was sexy, that she liked it. It sounds like he wants to say she likes it because he wants to self-aggrandize himself. He wants to make himself feel like it was good. Because remember, the 14-year-old, what did she say when she was in the room? And I think it turns out it's not his daughter, but his daughter happens to have the same name. A girl named Tiffany, who vouched for this girl who was 14 that got raped by him. And right after, he said something to the effect of, "You lucky it was the Donald that did it instead of some pimply faced teenager." Self-aggrandizing, like, you lucky it was with me. Same thing he's doing with E. Jean Carroll. I think she loved it. Because how could she not? I did it. She loves me. She's got to love me. You know what I'm saying? They got to love me. That's where I feel like he's bringing that up to make it seem like she had to have loved what he did to her. Because when he goes on Howard Stern talking about walking back with all those girls and things like that, it's even more creepier if you listen to it than that. He's saying that, you know, first of all, Howard Stern is creepy. In this interview, Howard Stern is equally, if not worse, on the creepy side, to be quite honest. He's the one who kind of like starts this conversation up, talking about you've got to be able to, you know, what if these girls who are coming, these young girls, he called them girls at first and later called them women. So you go, these girls, they come to your pageant and say, you're a good, like, he was trying to pitch him a reality show or some shit, talking about, you know, you, Donald Trump, you know what beauty is. You're probably the person and best person in the world to know what beauty is. Like, I don't know how, but, and this is after he said something about his daughter, Ivanka, not Donald Trump. Howard Stern said, if you don't mind me saying, your daughter's a great piece of ass. And Donald Trump just said, yeah, she's beautiful before that. He goes, and he's like, no, I was like, he didn't have a problem with it. I'm sorry, in my presence, say that about my daughter and watch you get punched in the throat. I mean, seriously, there ain't no like game playing like that. My daughter is not a piece of ass. No, that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? He said that shit to him, and Donald Trump kept it moving. because this man thinks of his daughter as a great piece of ass. He's excited about the fact of what he created, right? He's creepy. But he continues on with that conversation, right? That would have been the end of the conversation. Me, I'm like, nah, man, you don't talk like that. My daughter, man? No, getting out of here. They go down this rabbit hole. And you got the shock jock, Howard Stern, literally say to this man that you got to have these models come in and speaking, like foreign models. He's kind of like a stab at speaking foreign or Russian or whatever. And talking about that she wanted to pay with her vagina. That she would want to be with him. He said, you wouldn't pass that up, would you? You would not the kind that would pass that up. And then Donald Trump says, oh no, I say, I got to give her what she wants type of thing. I'm not going to be rude. And then he goes on. And I don't know how Robin lived through this shit. I mean, she was listening to it. I don't understand how she didn't see like that was just the most gross thing ever. But then he moves on to talk about, to brag. Yeah, I go in this, I'm the owner of the pageant. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and no other guys back there. He's letting you know that no other guys are allowed to go back and look at these girls because it's indecent. Something that you can't do. But I can do it. This is coming off of the fact of him saying that it might be a conflict of interest for him to have sex with his models. But he'll deal with that later. And then he says from that, I'll go back, and then he starts to tell his little bragging story. I get to go back there and I see all these beautiful girls. Remember what he said on the bus? Beautiful women. I just walk up and kiss them. They'll let you do anything. If you're a celebrity, grab them by the, what? All these things add up to this man is a creep. This man is a sexual assaulter. He's literally telling you he assaults women. And in the the deposition, she asked him this locker room talk. She said, this locker room talk. He goes, well, locker room talk. He said, well, that's just locker room talk. And he goes, so women just let you grab them by whatever. He said, they will. They let you do that. They let you do that. Yeah, if you're a celebrity. And she said, so you believe yourself to be a celebrity? He said, oh, yeah, I guess you can call it. Yeah, I'm a celebrity. And so you can grab women. He said, they'll let you do it. Yeah. He says that for the last 1,000,000 years. I'm like, 1,000,000 years. We've been around 1,000,000 years. 1,000,000 years. Fortunately, that you can grab women by their vaginas, or unfortunately, that is on tape. How you look past that? What kind of weirdness were you thinking, MAGA, to look past a man that said he grabbed women by their vaginas? They'll let you do it. That in that same deposition, that E. Jean Carroll enjoyed being raped. No human being enjoys being raped. There are people who have fetishes and they play the game of that, but nobody wants to be really that raped. That he was trying to sell that, and MAGA bought it. He lost, of course, owed her $88 million. But they still sat beside the dude who has been convicted, according to a judge, you can call it rape with E. Jean Carroll, convicted of rape, been accused of it by a 14-year-old, by his wife, and a 13-year-old. Over 20-some other women said he grabbed them and did them created sexual assault on them, grabbed their bodies, grabbed their body parts. How many more women do y'all need to see? I'm just waiting. Like, what is the number? Does it have to be 400,000? I mean, what does it have to be? You got kids to grown-ass women telling that this man grabs them, has raped them. Even his ex-wife, who's at his grave, who's at one of his golf courses. All of them have said this man's a rapist. He grabs women by the body parts and everything like that, sexual assaulter. And Jeffrey Epstein. You guys, I just realized when Jeffrey Epstein said that Donald Trump is not the dog that hasn't barked, that was during a trial in which one of these girls had gotten assaulted. And Donald Trump knew about it. He was the only one that hadn't said anything about it yet. That's what that was. I didn't know the context of that. But it was during a point in which Donald Trump knew this girl had got assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein was talking to Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember that email I shared with you guys, where he said the dog is Donald Trump is the only dog that hasn't barked. He was talking about Donald Trump hadn't barked about this young girl that was on the trial, saying because he knew that they raped her. He didn't say anything. Mum is the word. All this. And we still out here acting like that ain't enough to put this man behind bars. That ain't enough to get this man out of office. You need more. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody who is ignoring the facts that Donald Trump has been called a rapist of children, definition, pedophile. He's been raping adult women, rapist. Creating, this is just one bad fucking seed. We don't have one person saying Donald Trump has done good by them. All of this stuff is mounted up to Donald Trump being Satan's little bastard child. And history will prove over time, everybody for decades that stood by this piece of shit, you're just as bad as he is. You have allowed this man to harm bodies over and over and over and over, and you could have stopped it. But instead, you let it go. While Donald Trump was in the White House, due to evidence that Michael Wolff, who's connected to this a lot more now, and Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump was having an affair while he was in the White House the first time. One of his assistants. Instead of going somewhere, he said he was basically going to fuck his assistant. He wasn't going to go with them. They can go. Him and his assistant was going to get down. Yeah, Melania. That man is still out here doing stuff. And that back then, it was 2016, 17, whatever the hell he was in office from 16 to 20. At that time, he was having an affair with his assistant, secretary, whatever her name was. And you guys still think this man is good. How? How? Just listen. I think he's suspect too. I saw him on, I said that last week or what it was. When I read it out loud, I told you what these emails were. I said, that's kind of suspect, dude. But again, I'm not vouching for him. He's got evidence to prove this shit. I'm saying that he got that shit out there. If he, like, again, him giving Jeffrey Epstein advice was sickening to me. And he tried to justify it by being a journalist. Now, here's the thing. He said years back that he wasn't a journalist. He was a writer. Now that he wants to protect himself, all of a sudden he's a journalist and not a writer. I'm like, you said it, bro. It's evidence and documentation that Michael Wolff said he was a writer, not a journalist. And now he's talking about journalists. Like, won't give up his sources, whatever the heck it is. He's giving away so much. Like I said, I don't like him or Bob Woodward, whatever, Woodward, I think it is, for holding all this information that harmed people. Yep, but I get you. You're right. Yeah, it's just insane. Whatever you got to say, I got to say, look, when no matter what happens, I don't care. They said they're going to, Donald Trump said, and I think he tried to recant later on today, but he said, do the investigation, but he talked about last name Reed, the guy who started LinkedIn, Bill Clinton, and some other named people, New York Times or something like that, people who were leading that. And I'm like, go ahead, investigate them. And he said that it was Democrats, all these Democrats, and they're the ones who did it. And I'm like, Donald, come here, boy. Come here real quick. At the time all this was happening, he was a Democrat, my boy. A Democrat. So they should be investigating you too. So you don't got caught up and lost in the sauce with this Republican bullshit, this MAGA shit you made up and got your little cult to follow you. But you were a Democrat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when they go after Bill Clinton, which they should if he did something, they should be coming after you too because you were a Democrat. Back up off. But they should be going after all of them. Yeah. Morgan, JP Morgan, Chase. They didn't go after all of them. I'm free for all. If the women say they put it in the documentation that Alex what's his name, Castro or Acosta, Alex Acosta has put in there, and it's in the documentation somewhere, and they said they given it all, and they just want them to release it, just release it. If the names are in there, get them. I don't care who it is, get them. They gotta prove it to some degree, but back then it was said. But hey, they made an allegation. Bring the girls forward if they're still alive, and let's get it on. Prove it. I mean, E. Jean Carroll won $80-something million way later in life. I'm not saying that they're going after money, but I'm saying is they tried that case many years after it happened. They can try these too, whether it be civil. I don't know about criminal. I don't know what they can do with that, but it goes beyond just the minimum. I think child sex trafficking may not have a limit. I don't think they have a limit on that. I'm not 100% sure. I know on certain other things, they have a limit before you can charge. Like murder, there's no limit. Some assault, they have a limit. Some rape has a limit. So we'll see what happens. But just the names coming out is more than enough. It's more than enough. Because the court of public opinion, it's a wrap. But yeah, it's messed up. But there's too many of these instances. And this is in the dozens upon dozens of women. How can you look past dozens of women and one man is telling you it's a hoax? It's a hoax. They're lying. They're lying. It's a hoax. They're lying. They're lying. It's a hoax. And that's only covering like 10 of them. We got another lying, hoax. All those. And you literally think they're all hoaxes. His excuse. Don't put it out there. Don't put it out. We're going to put it out there. We're going to put it out there. Don't put it out there. Put it out there. Dude, if you blame me or something, I know I didn't do nothing. Look at them. Release all the files. Go ahead. Give them to everybody. I don't care. Give it to the dog if you need to. I don't care. Give it. Go on. I ain't did shit other than my job. I do what I do. I ain't never hurt nobody. I'm done. That's what they should be doing. But he's not doing that. What he's doing is hiding everything, acting like nothing ever happened. And then telling everybody else that they, should be looking at the Democrats, these people. And I'm like, we agree. First time I probably ever agree with Donald Trump. Yeah, look at those Democrats who could have been it. Because again, it comes down to rich people. I saw a video of D.L. Hughley. And I don't know this to be true because it's not necessarily fact, but it was funny. He said, you know what you won't find in the Epstein files? You won't find the immigrants. You're not going to find black people. You're going to find rich people. You're going to find all these rich people and these white men doing this shit. That's what you're not going to find in it. These billionaire white people doing it. And I don't necessarily agree with that, to be saying it, agree, because I don't know. I don't put anything past Clarence Thomas. I don't. He was in close proximity to these billionaires. I don't put nothing past him. I ain't saying he's doing it, but I'm just saying that's a black person that could possibly be in it. He doesn't have any ethics or morals. He could possibly be in it. He could not. His name is never mentioned. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I wouldn't be jumping that gun as a fact-based person about nobody being black or even no immigrants being in it, because there's some rich people who are immigrants and there's some rich people who are black. And many of them, not all of them, but many of them can be Republicans. So we'll see what turns out. Bring out the facts. That's all I want to see is the facts. Then after that, expose all these people and hopefully find, the source, the money, like the girl said, the women were saying, follow the money, and maybe we can take down one of the biggest rings in this country and get closer to, eliminating something like that. I'm not naive. I know some things are going to continue because this is a hateful world in many ways, but we should be actively seeking them and doing some of the things that he's doing to these Venezuelan boats. If you're going to do that, do it to these men who are out here doing it to these children. That's what I'm saying. You got smoke for people that you can't even figure out. You got files that show you these people the way they are. Why aren't you just putting them on a boat blowing that shit up? You know they guilty because they have to take Trump on those boats as pot. He gonna get a one-way ticket on that boat. That's why he don't want to do nothing like that. Yeah, I heard just listen podcast with Walt. Yeah, I heard we talked about at the very beginning that's what the I think Lisa Rubin said earlier today, and another lawyer said today that I heard earlier on today about them doing this to make sure that the files never see light of day, because under an investigation you can't release files that are being used for the investigation. And so Donald Trump reigniting people and saying, look at the Democrats. And then he said, don't talk about it. We're going to start it, but just don't talk about it. And so you're telling us to stop talking about these women? Never. Just the idea you come out and tell people to stop talking about these women. They are not the only ones. And this is what I want to people. Let's chat for a second, just for a second before we get out of here, because I'm only going to talk about this a little bit more. I have more to say, but I'm kind of done with it. Democrats, Republicans, my fellow Americans, these wonderful women, bright, strong, beautiful women who were once bright, strong, beautiful girls, they're not the only ones. Okay? There are girls right this second being harmed by these very same people they are covering. These men and women do not stop being pedophiles because they're under some trial. They're sick. They do these things on the regular. Okay? So protecting these older women now from the situations in which happened to them as a kid, do you really think these billionaires who had this profanity to this addiction, so to speak, and I ain't gonna give it addiction because I don't think it's addiction, it's just weirdness in them to do this to children? Some of them, the girl said that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump beat her at the same time that these things happened. They were abusive to her. These ones that have been threatened for their lives, right? Sent bomb threats and all that. These people are still out here getting their fix on. So don't think of these women as being the only ones. They're catapulting this for the little ones who are going through it right the fuck now. It's not just about these women. It is about all women going through this. They're standing up for all women that are coming in behind them. And for those who've passed away that just died with this on their spirit and their soul. They're there for the whole tribe. So don't get it twisted. This is not just about these wonderful women here. It's about all of them. And not only the women, there were young boys in this too. People don't understand. These people were dealing with boys too. There are young men out here that have done this, that have went through the same thing as these women. So let's focus on the facts that this is bigger than just these women. They're just the ones that are saying no mas. They're out here saying no more. And they're putting their lives on the line for all of those future people. If these people aren't stopped, that's going to get harmed. The present people who are getting harmed by these people right this second. And those in the past who are too scared to come up and say a word, and those who have passed, who never got their day in court. So don't get it twisted. It's bigger than this. And who's going to stop talking about it, you little orange shit? Nobody. Because their voices is the one we need to hear. If anybody needs to shut the fuck up, it's your orange ass. All right. It's insane. Trump, I know Trump is guilty. What he is guilty of, I don't know yet. I think it's depraved. Yes, I do. Because again, where there's smoke, there's fire. Donald Trump is a 5-alarm fire, yo. Sorry about that, 5-alarm fire. He's in here. He's a 5-alarm fire. Let's make it a different name because I want to say he's like a 10-alarm fire. Double that. 10-alarm fire. Come on, man. You can't have all this smoke and then not be a fire. I can understand maybe 1, 2 people coming forward. Something like that. Dude, 40, who's 26 something in 2017, something like 2018. It was 26 some people. It was well over 30 by the end of that. I don't know what number it is now. And think about it. Those 30 were just Trump. Not Trump and Epstein, just Trump. Well, one of them was Trump and Epstein. That's the 13-year-old. But the rest of them, just Trump. One man with 30 charges of people saying he did this shit to them. One lady, E. Jean Carroll, wins, and he is adjudicated. He is a sexual assaulter. And one judge says you can call it rape. So you call him a rapist, sexual assaulter, whatever you want to call it. All that. And that's just one side of his crimes. He's a fraudster too. And you guys need to follow the money. Just like Jeffrey Epstein said, Donald Trump was a money launderer for the Russians. Oligarchs. That's what Jeffrey Epstein said. Find that $40 million home he sold for $90 million. Where the fuck y'all at on that? Find if it's true or not. But that was the true supposedly falling out of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, is that he stole property out from under him and sold it to the Russians when it was a property that Jeffrey Epstein was supposedly buying for himself. Dream home, supposedly. We'll see. We will see. You can look up all this stuff. I speak the facts, the things that I know. I tell you what I don't know, or even some things that I've heard, but won't claim them to be facts. Just like with the D.L. Hughley thing, I don't say that's facts because there's some rich black people that are Republicans that may have been in this shit. And there's some people who are rich that are Republicans that we don't even know. They're just business people and don't know what race they are. I just know whomever's on that list needs to be investigated. And those who are guilty need to go to hell. And I don't mean jail, hell. They can go to jail that way, but go to hell is another one. That's where they deserve to go. All right. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you. DJ, everybody here, I appreciate all y'all. We're about to get up out of here. Y'all know how to support your boy. Out here trying to give these facts, trying to do whatever I can. Again, look out for Avid Solutionist. Again, this is design. I got the little logo. I like the everything's colorful because I look at things being creative as just bright colors. The light bulb, of course, about thinking, and I love to have solutions. So we're gonna have fun with this. Hopefully, beginning of the year, podcast, first episode, stuff like that, putting it together, enjoying that. So we'll always have this right here where I'll tell you the facts, and then whatever it may be that's going on and problems we may have in this country and how it's going about. But then Avid Solutions will be the other side of who I am. I love to bring the facts to you, the problems to you, but I also get out of here and I try to solve it. If it's a problem, we need to solve it. Just complaining about it does nothing. That's why I say all these years, 50-something years, you're being promised health care, and we done had hundreds, if not thousands of brains in 50 years that can't figure out health care. I mean, come on. It ain't that difficult. If you can put a piece of metal with a bunch of fuel and shoot it up in the sky, you sure as hell can figure out health care for the people who live here. It's not hard. It's not impossible. It's just something they don't want to do because they're greedy. They rather put that money in their pockets than to put it behind you and me. And I'm figuring out a way that the people can start taking care of the people. And by doing so, creating economic wealth amongst us, thus creating power to lobby for our real shit instead of all the crazy shit. We got to unite. And that's the way we defeat this shit, is that the American people who all want the same things, when you break it down, we want our families to have, we don't want to be able to have nots. We want to be able to take care of everything we got financially. We want to be able to have a good life, health care, things of that nature. We don't want to have to want for nothing. We want to be able to retire with dignity, know that we gave this country the best service that we have, and in our older age, we should be able to live life comfortably, saying, good job, my brother. Good job, my sister. You held it down. Now it's time for your kids to start taking over and handling it. And they're preparing it for their kids to take it over and handling it and being responsible to all Americans, not just your family. Your neighbors are there because you were here. It's a we thing, not a me thing. If America gets out of this me mentality and focuses on the we mentality, we'll have that country that we've been aspirational about. We the people actually means we the fucking people, not me the people. Okay? The power comes with we, not me. All right. Love y'all. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate you. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, DJ, for the donation. Thank you, Nina, for the membership. I appreciate you as well. All the rest of the people here tonight, thank you guys. Much love to you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same bad channel. They probably sue me for that. He said bad channel. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I'll see you when I see you.